What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to Besties, where the tea is hot and the laughs are even hotter. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Sean. We're your favorite duo, ready to spill, dish, and serve all the laughs.
Let's get into it.
All right. So, how has your week been, Brittany?
My week has been good. I'm really excited about this podcast. I feel like we had really good feedback. I'm getting a lot of support from friends and fam.
Yeah, thank you to all of our followers. Love it. And all of our listeners.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Okay, so we have a few words from the complaint department. We have a few questions we are going to answer, and then we will get to the main course, which is online versus reality.
All right, so let's start with the complaint department. What were your grievances for the week, Shawnee?
Okay, so one of my grievances for this week is I don't know if people have seen what's going on TikTok or on social media, but I am so sick of these people coming for Shawn Mendes about his sexuality. All I have seen nonstop is people saying, is he gay? Is he not? His music is kind of gay. He's kind of gay, but then people are thinking he's metro. And I'm just so sick of people consistently thinking one way or the other about him. It's like the dude is a good singer. Just let him sing, let him do his thing, and stop worrying about whatever's going on with him. It's so freaking annoying to me that we're so tied up in all of this crap about someone's sexuality. And I'm actually relieved because the other day he posted something on TikTok that he was at a concert and he basically just told people, he's like, I don't know. Like, I didn't have a normal life at 15, 16 when I started singing. I didn't have time to process. So, like, I just don't know. And that's admirable because honestly, there are still a lot of people who don't know. So stop coming for Shawn Mendes. Just let him do his thing. Let him be a singer and just cut it out, folks. Like, it's so freaking annoying.
Yes. No, I actually haven't heard anything about Shawn Mendes, but fun fact, I did go to one of his concerts because my friend Kenzie's daughter Natalie was obsessed with him. It was actually a really good show.
Yeah, he puts on a great show. I'm honestly hoping that I can see him at some point because whatever, he is that good for sure.
No, definitely.
So, Brittany, what was your grievance this week?
So my kind of pet peeve is honestly, I know it's better for the world, but I freaking hate paper straws. Why are they doing that to us? Like, just give us a lid we can sip with, or no lid at all, and just raw dog it on the rim of the cup. Like, why are they doing this to us? Like,
And then yeah, I get it.
nothing's
Totally.
worse than a limp straw. Like, it's giving like bad date. Like,
I was just gonna say when you sip on it for too long, then it starts getting soggy and
and it like
disgusting.
bends and it's just like ugh.
And sometimes if it's in there for long enough, you get the little paper particles that go in your mouth. It's really cute.
Yeah, I'm not here for it, but
Oh
so
God.
that's my little take. But what do you have any others other than Mr. Shawn Mendes himself?
My only other grievance is I traveled over the weekend and I am so sick of, and I don't know why people do this, but like zero ply toilet paper. Why is this a thing? Why can we not go to, and we went to an Airbnb. I was expecting it to be like a lot better toilet paper. No, it's one ply. You go to wipe, it rips in your hand,
Oh
then
no.
it's a whole nother, you gotta do a lot of extra things to make sure that you're clean in all areas of life. And it's so frustrating. Like, just put normal toilet paper. So, whoever, wherever you are, for the love of God, please start putting in 3 or 4 ply toilet paper. I don't even care, even if it's 2 ply, but I am so sick of this one ply. You can see my hand through the other side of the freaking toilet paper. That should not be allowed. That should be illegal in my opinion.
Honestly, I'm glad you brought this up. This is such a big topic during this time in the election. I mean, I think we should all get out there and vote, folks. Three-ply toilet paper and
Oh.
justice for all. I
I
mean,
literally, I literally feel like Legally Blonde when she's like, "I led a sorority," and then it like zooms into the scene of her being like, "They want to go from Charmin to Bargain Brand," and everyone like votes no because I just can't fucking deal with it. It's so freaking annoying.
no, but I will say, Bargain Brand Costco, dude, their toilet paper is thick, and I'll go from like an Airbnb type deal where it's like no ply toilet paper to home, and I'm just like, I have this wad of toilet paper. I'm like, this is way too much now. Like, do you ever get
Yeah,
accustomed to like, but this is the thing also. So when they give you like no ply toilet paper, you're just using more. So like, are they really saving? Like,
right.
let's think this out, people.
Yes, let's unpack that. You have to fold it 9 times to get 9 ply, and then it still rips. It's like
Nine ply.
it's like I need to just start bringing my own toilet paper, I guess. Like Charmin Ultra Strong for the win. Bring it on all my trips.
I'm telling you, Costco's really good.
Oh my gosh.
I
I
recommend.
can't. I can't. But you're so right. What a good point. Like you're using more in this 1 ply anyway. So just supply us normal toilet paper.
Right. And
Oh
like, I
God.
feel like that's review worthy. Like, you should be like, had a great trip. Everything was great, but they really need to work on their toilet paper game.
Literally, literally so bad.
Awful.
Ugh.
All right. It's that time of the show where you ask, we answer, and hopefully we don't completely embarrass ourselves in the process. We did get some questions in, which I'm really excited about because I didn't think we are going to get any.
Yes. So
And this,
exciting.
yes, and this first one's so funny. They wrote, "Hey, don't use my real name. Please use my stage name. The Not So Tiny Dancer 69."
Perfect. Love that. Love that for us. What a name.
I know.
Very creative, not so tiny dancer. I appreciate it.
Not So Tiny Dancer 69.
69. Yes, can't
69.
forget that.
Yeah. Question for you. If you could have dinner with any famous or prominent person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Okay, so I really thought about this
Okay.
and I honestly one of my top that I have said for a long time is Anne Frank. I would love to meet her, to eat lunch with her, or just whatever, sit down, break bread. I don't even know what I would do, but I think it would be amazing to hear her story and, firsthand what happened. I know there's the Diary of Anne Frank, folks. Don't come for me. Like, I know that that's a thing. I did read it, but I think she would just shed so much more light, I would think, on the whole situation what happened. Like, I just want to know, like, what was she feeling? What was going through her head? Like, were you scared? Were you nervous? Like, all of these different things. I think that I would just be so, so intrigued by anything she has to say. I've always been super interested in her and in that topic.
Yes, and you're right by the Holocaust Museum, no?
Yes, I am. We've already been once, and it was moving per usual. It's always super moving going there. So I'll probably go back again and again and keep going back because they're really good. They like
We
add stuff
both
to
just did that at this.
it. Adjusted our glasses. So funny. What about you, Brett?
Well, I do want to say I think that is a very good person, and now I feel a little silly. But
No, no. Tell us.
okay, so mine would be Robin Williams,
Oh,
R.I.P.
so good. What a good one.
I just think that, I think you could have like a really meaningful talk with him, but then it could also like mid convo just like slide into Mrs. Doubtfire or like the genie or like anything. Like he was just so animated, and I just think he would be a great person to talk with and, really see what's going on inside because obviously, I mean, he
I
felt
know.
some type of way. So,
And who doesn't love a good impression either? Like you would get whatever a sore stomach the whole day after just
yeah.
laughing so much.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, definitely Robin Williams.
Good pick. Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Um, were there any other questions from Not So Tiny Dancer 69?
No, that was the only one. They just said at the end, they just said, love you both.
Oh, thank you. All right, well, we did have another one come in. This one was from John B. from Florida, and he asked a very intriguing question. He must have been watching us from YouTube because he asked, why isn't Brittany wearing her ring?
Well, folks, I hate to break it to you. Your girl is never wearing her ring, and it's nothing like I'm mad at Jeffrey or I want out of this relationship. I mean, some days that's a yes. But I mean, who doesn't have those days? But no, I feel like I just have sensory things like my ears aren't pierced. They were when I was little and I've just never got them pierced again. I do want to get them pierced, but like the urgency is not there. It's not like I'm wearing like other jewelry and like his, I'm just like, no, thank you. It is a beautiful ring. I'm not ashamed. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like I get that a lot from Jeff's side. I don't know if they think I'm gonna like dip on him and like I'm looking for a new man, but like anyone that knows me knows we've been together since forever, 11 years. Like he's my forever.
Yeah, and I'm sure people right now listening or watching are probably saying, well, why doesn't Brittany just put it on a necklace? Y'all, she just said she's got a sensory thing. So even necklaces, she doesn't really wear necklaces a whole lot
I
either.
sometimes I try to, but you know, every time I put a freaking necklace on, it wraps around the back of my hair and rips it out. And I'm like, can't I
Yeah.
just be a girl? Like, I'm a horrible, horrible girly girl. And
Yeah.
like, another reason why I don't wear my ring is I'm just so rough. Like, I'm just like bouncing around like all the time. And like,
Ooh,
if
she
if
rough.
I'm yeah, like I am, and like I wish I was more dainty, but that ring would have 100% been broken. Like I wear my Apple Watch, and I there's scratches all over it. I'm surprised that thing hasn't been busted. And there's been some times that I look at it and I'm like, all right, just accept it, like it's broken. And
I wonder if it's the metal. Like, do you think it's maybe the metal? Maybe you have to like, what if you tried wearing like a rubber ring? Would that make a difference, you think?
I feel like my skin would get irritated, like it wouldn't breathe. But I mean,
Yeah,
people wear them. But like, what's like? I feel like it would just get caught too. Like
true, true.
I don't know.
Well, there's your answer, John B. from Florida. She got thick hair. She is really sensitive to those things. So that's your answer. You know, time will tell. Time will tell. Maybe she'll wear some more later on. Maybe she won't.
Yeah, I mean, when I go out, I do try to put it on in my own defense.
Yeah, like those flashy occasions.
Yeah, but like to be honest, Jeff doesn't care either. Like it's always everyone else that's worried about it and not either of us. So,
Yeah. I also feel like it's very much starting to be normal for our generation. Like even for my engagement ring, I just wear a rubber ring for like my wedding ring. And then when I go to special occasions or I do something, then I'll put on the one that, has like the little diamonds in it that's a little more flashy. But when I'm just going day to day or I'm going to the gym, the last thing I want is like this irritating metal. I'd rather just wear the rubber on my finger. So I don't blame you, girl. I don't blame you.
thank you. Thank you.
All right. So now that we've discussed all those lovely topics and
Thanks for
answered some
your
of your
questions
questions,
though.
yes,
Send more
please.
in.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So let's talk about something we're all guilty of, which is scrolling through social media and thinking, wow, everyone else's life looks like a movie, and I'm over here living the blooper reel.
So today we're diving into the real tea. Is this real life actually what you see online, or is this just an Instagram filter? Perfectly staged avocado toast and 50 selfies before they pick the perfect one candid shot. Let's be honest, who's really living that highlight reel?
I love this, by the way, this
I'm
write up.
guilty of that.
It's beautiful. I think we all are in some way, shape, or form, right? Like we're all very cognizant of our, the vision of ourselves or how we look on social media. I feel like it has naturally just done that to
I'm
us.
just giving thumbs up right now. If for those of you who are listening, a thumbs up just popped up on the screen for me putting my hand up. Um, but yeah, no, I agree with you. And it's like there's so many different things that go into this, right? So it's like who's posting like, oh, me and my boyfriend are going through it again? Like, okay, honestly, that's like my favorite kind of post. Like, give me the tea. Like, oh, yep, they're back together again. Oh, nope, they're having a break.
Mm.
But like, no one wants to share the ugly parts. Like, if I posted every time I cried, like, I don't know, it would not be a good vibe for me. People would think I'm not
You'd be posting a lot.
right. Like, I don't know. I think also, like, for me personally, like I post my nieces a lot, but it's like almost a diary for me. Like I want to go back and like that's our new photo album. So, yes, I'm posting all of my milestones and all of these great times and all of my great vacations because every morning when I go onto Facebook, I'm looking at my on this day or whatever from years and years ago and I love to look back and see it. And sometimes I do see my depressing posts and I'm like, "Oh, sad little Brittany." But I don't know. I mean, I get both sides. I guess people that are posting, emotional things are wanting to be seen. And I mean,
Hmm.
I don't care what you post. Like post your truth. I mean, go for it. I that's what it's there for, right? Someone said to me one time like, I think they just post like whatever looks good and I'm like, well, that's what we're all doing. We all can post whatever we want.
Right.
So, and bottom line, if you don't like it, don't look. Like
Right. Take me off your feed. Bye. So
um
hearing you talk about like you enjoy seeing what you have done a year ago or 2 years ago, yo, shout out TBT to Time Hop. That app was like the bee's knees. I think what was that? Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, where we would look on Time Hop and you could see everything that you posted a year or two ago. Now Facebook pretty much automatically does Time Hop for you. So TBT to Time Hop.
Yeah, no, I'm here for all of it. And I feel like there was so much more that I wanted to touch base with on that because, there was one time that I went out to lunch with a girl
Hmm.
and I was just like venting she's like a friend of a friend. And we just all went out as like girls having a girls' night and we were talking and I was just like venting about Jeffrey, as we all do, when you have a hard day. And she's like, wait, what? She's like, oh my God, from everything you post, like everything seems perfect. And I'm like, girl, we are all human. Like, you have to like bring yourself back to reality when you do see that, like, everything's rainbows and butterflies for them. Like, no, not, they might paint their picture that way, yes, but probably more than ever, there's just so much else to that that's just not seen or heard of. But we're all human and no one's life is perfect.
Yeah, 100%. But again, like you said, I think people are just so used to seeing those things. I wrote down a couple pet peeves, but one that kind of goes with what you're talking about, something that I have thought about and aggravated the crap out of me when we were younger. I feel like we've gotten a little bit out of it now because a lot of folks are not really using Facebook in the same way anymore. But I hated when you would get into a relationship or you were dating somebody and constantly people would be like, well, was it posted on Facebook? Or when are you going to make it Facebook a fish? When is it going to go on there? Like, I get so aggravated when people say that because that's our culture now. Is it's not real until it's on Facebook. Like, until it's FBO, we're not, you're not anything. You're not dating, you're not doing anything. Like, you have to make that FBO. And I think even sometimes on Instagram, because they didn't have like in a relationship status, but it was like post your first picture and like you have to have a cute caption and you have to have all these things attached to it. And it's like, girl, no, I'ma just do me, okay? I'm out here doing me. I'm not worrying about nobody else but myself, okay? So like that was something that always like grinded my gears about um Facebook and more specifically like pertaining to relationships.
Yeah, no, I remember I didn't post my engagement for like a hot minute just because I wanted to like be able to tell everyone before it was on there. I like wanted to make sure
And
we got
digest. And digest.
right and like we had our bases covered because to find something out on Facebook like that, I feel like I don't know. Like big things like if my sister posted like, "Oh, baby number 3," and I was like, "Girl, hello. I'm right here. You forgot to tell me." Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Something else that I constantly look at and I think get kind of, that blooper reel feeling is when people are constantly posting pictures of them on vacations. And I'm sitting here like doing whatever I got to do to like make it through the day, make it through my
Right. You're
job.
like, you're out at Disney and I got to walk around the block to get some air.
Literally, like it's almost just like bridesmaids, but it's you don't have a husband, I have a husband. It's the same
Exactly.
thing. I'm going on vacation, you're not going on vacation. It's sometimes it's so frustrating because I get so hard on myself of like, okay, we need to do something. We need to go on a trip. Like, why are all these people doing all of these things and we're not doing anything? But then you have to stop and remind yourself of like, okay, this is where we're at right now. I have different goals. I have different things that are going on right now that I'm trying to keep in mind. And vacations are not it for me right now. But there are so many people that I know that are just constantly going on vacation. And I'm like, girl, what, how, when, where, what? Like, how
Right.
are you finding all this time off from work? How are you finding all the time to, go on these vacations and have all these expenses or whatever it is that's related to it? And I get people have like miles and stuff, but girl, damn, like that's a lot of travel.
Vibes. I want some of that travel.
Literally. Do you have any other
Oh,
online versus reality?
I don't know. I feel like I kind of like flip-flopped a little bit there. I don't even know if what I'm saying makes sense. But basically, if like if you're online and you're sad because of what other people are doing, or maybe you weren't even invited, like I just try to remind myself like, okay, like I'll go out and I'll go do something that makes me happy. Like don't feel like you can't be in control of your life. Like
Mm,
get out from behind the screen and go do something yourself and post it and be like, you know what, I'm a badass. Like I
yeah.
remember one time, I think Jeffrey had like a school trip or something, like a day trip where he had to work late or on a weekend. And I was like, you know what? Screw this. None of my friends are around. I'm going hiking by myself. And like, I hiked a whole ass mountain by myself. And like, to be in your own thoughts for one day was like kind of nice. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
just put on some music. No one said, like, oh, can we change this playlist? Like, it was just kind of nice. And I went up at my own pace and I didn't feel like I was being rushed or had to wait for someone. Like it was an awesome feeling. So if you're ever feeling like that, get out and go do something yourself. Go shop around the mall. Go window shop if you don't have money. Just drive to the mall and go look. Go get a little Starbucks drink.
Yeah, Brittany's so good about like going and doing little things by herself, but it's funny because when she was talking about the hiking a mountain by herself, it brought me back to a time where her, myself, and my
That's
husband
the
were
mountain.
hiking. Yeah, and we went there. It was like the cusp of winter, so it was like winter hadn't officially started, but fall in New England is really weird, as many of you who live in New England probably know. It can be like 30 degrees one day and then the next day it's like 65 or 70. It's just so screwed up. And there we were hiking up this mountain and everything had frozen over from the night before and we were all constantly trying to navigate finding different ways up this mountain because it was so slick and we ended up turning around to come back down and we had to make our own courses on the way down
Well,
and
we
I
we got to the
remember
top. We got to the
we
top.
did we did we
We had a
did
bevy, and then that
we
that
did.
gave us some gas for the way down.
But the best part is I'm sorry for whoever this person is, but there was one person when we were on our way down, they were on their way up, and they looked at the three of us and they were like, "Yeah, that's why you need to have spikes on your shoes." And they literally lifted up their back of their shoe and showed us the spikes on their shoe. And we kind of just, dusted it off, no big deal. And sure enough, not even 5 seconds later, the person is walking up and they just absolutely eat shit. Like, completely face plant. And we just all started laughing, the three of us. And we looked at each other and just said, yeah, you really need those, stakes in your shoes to be able to hold on to the ice. It was so, so funny. So anyway, minor tangent talking
Yeah.
about hiking.
Karma. Karma's real,
I
motherfucker.
know, I know. And honestly, speaking of that too, I one of my things was kind of what you just touched upon of like these unrealistic expectations surrounding fitness, which bothers the absolute poo out of me. Like I constantly
But Sean, you know I'm a fitness girly. For all those who can't see me and have never seen me, I am about 5'11" and 120 pounds soaking wet. So you know I'm just a fitness girly.
I just can't like I even now scrolling through TikTok and Instagram are like the two big ones right now that have this 30-day calisthenic workout challenge where you put in your body weight and it tells you what kind of workouts you need to do to get a six pack and all this stuff, which is great. I totally get that for people who are into that if that's motivating for them. But you go through guilty because I've taken the quiz. You go through this whole thing, you get through the end, and then it's like, oh well, in order to get the workouts, you have to pay for it. Okay, well, one, I'm not doing that because that's a waste of my money because I already spend money on a lot of other things. And two, I just wish people had more of the mindset of what you were just talking about, Brittany, with why can't we just like go for a walk or go for a hike or do something and then just be like, okay, great. Like I got out there, I did some physical activity, I did some stuff. That's it. That's all I need to do. I feel like we're always, because we're seeing all these people, we're constantly trying to be better or look better or, feel better. But it's also like, what's your own definition of feeling better? It could be many different things. So that
Definitely.
always bothers me about people online, even Peloton people. Like I know you and I do Peloton all the time. Sometimes we'll FaceTime each other while we're Pelotoning, and I love some of the instructors on there, but they did not get jacked like that just by doing the quick Peloton workout. Like they're
Right.
doing some
Quick
side work.
20-minute ride.
Yeah, like they're doing some side hustles, they're working, they're doing their thing. So I think people have to understand that too by, just by doing 900 Peloton rides, you're not going to look like Ben Aldis or Cody Rigsby or,
Old
you know,
tool. Love her.
right,
Love
exactly,
her.
exactly. Oh, goodness. So anyway, yes, that, online versus reality, I feel like can definitely be a slippery slope sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, so we have now made it to the next segment of our show. So we're starting something new. Did you really just say that? Is here because, well, to be quite honest, Brittany has a special relationship with pronouncing words. Last
Thank
week, as
you.
last week, as we all heard, she said endoscopy, which was supposed to be endoscopy. So let's just say it was an adventure navigating, trying to figure out that word. So every week we're going to tackle a new word.
Yeah, so think of this as your weekly learn something new every day moment, except a lot more laughs and probably a lot of butchered pronunciations.
Okay, so Brittany, are you ready for your word?
Okay, so what's going to happen is I've never seen this word before, probably in my life. Sean's going to put it on screen because I'm going to read it how I think it's said. And then I'm also going to give a definition and maybe even attempt to use it in a sentence. So,
Oh my gosh, perfect. Love this.
yeah,
Okay. Let's see.
let's hope it's not backwards.
It is.
Oh, no, it's not. Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, just tell me, is it Anemone?
Correct.
Of course, there's E's and O's, and they're going to be not how I think they are. Okay, literally, Sean, this is the first time we're doing this. You really had to just do this? And you said you had backup words in case I didn't know what this was, or I knew what this
In
was?
case you knew it, yeah.
Okay, put
Yeah.
it back up. Anemon? No. No, I don't know. There will be no sentence usage. Well, I have no idea. How do you pronounce that?
It is pronounced anemone.
No, that's not that word. No,
It is.
put it back up.
It is anemone.
What did I say? Anemon? Oh
Yep,
my god,
anemone. Which
I
honestly, it does kind of look like that.
yeah,
So
what am I, 5? God, this is embarrassing. Listen,
anemone.
I'm picking one. I'm picking one for you next week.
I literally just can't. It's like Pokemon. Anemone, gotta catch them all.
You're gonna make my Invisalign rubber band snap. Stop! I'm
Oh
crying.
my goodness. So, yes, for those of you out there, it is anemone. So, it is what Nemo lives in
Shut
Finding
up.
Nemo.
Great. Let's
They
just
are
dumb it
found on
down.
coral reefs. A sea anemone.
I don't even know what I would say
Oh my
then.
gosh.
Anemon? Oh Lord.
Anemone.
Oh
You know
God.
what? It doesn't matter. Anemone can get this. We can just start ad-libbing everything. It won't even matter.
Listen, we are doing this to you next week because it can't just be a shit on Britney fest, okay?
Yeah, we can do it if you want to. As long as you don't pick the word that I had as my backup for the following week, we should be fine.
Okay, perfect. But I will say this in my own defense. You know, some people have a hard time pronouncing words, but they might be in second grade, but
They absolutely do. And you know what? No harm, no foul, because there are plenty of times where I say words very, very wrong, or I read things very wrong. So I'm honestly sure we'll both have a lot of fun with this segment because I probably won't be able to get half of them either.
um I will say I was watching this video and the guy said it was like, what's a word that you've mispronounced? And he was like, well, I was in front of like a judge in a whole courtroom and he said man's laughter and it was manslaughter. Oops.
Okay, on a real note though, the English language is ridiculous.
Yeah, this isn't my fault. I
Like,
might be 33, but
there are so many, like, okay, like draft, for example, the word draft is literally spelled two different ways.
oh yeah, the
Like the NFL
AUGHT.
draft, or
Right.
there's a draft coming in the house. It's like, how are people supposed to? And honestly, some people would probably read it as like drought because sometimes the AUGH sounds like out rather than laugh or whatever, draft or things like that. So
Right.
I honestly, I think this is great to test our knowledge because there are a lot of words that anyone may not be able to get. So we just have to be positive.
I'm embarrassed, but I'm living my truth.
Literally. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, just so folks know, next week we want you to tune in because we have a very exciting show next week. The topic of next week's show is awkward first dates and cringe-worthy dating stories. So Brittany and I are definitely going to be sharing some of our cringiest dating stories. But again, we want to hear from you. So, submit those stories. Let us know some of your crazy, awkward stories, and maybe they just might end up on this podcast.
Yeah, send them to either our Instagram, Besties and Bantor,
Banter. Besties and banter. Send it.
Besties and Banter on Instagram, Or you can also email us at bestiesandbanter@gmail.com. If you love the pod, make sure to follow, like, share, and subscribe to Besties and Banter. Don't leave us hanging. We know you're curious. Hit the subscribe button so you can sit with us on every episode. Your support means the world and helps us keep the banter rolling. So go ahead, share the love with your crew, because what's better than a few more besties in the mix? As always, in Besties we trust. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.